Hi everyone, welcome to Soul Strength Tarot. We're going to do the Mercury retrograde videos for each sign. Mercury retrograde is happening from February 17th to March 9th. My advice to you when you watch your video is to take notes, okay? Write down what comes through. One of the main cards that we're going to pull and then we're going to be talking about in your reading will be an archetype card. An archetype is a way of thinking. It is a pattern of thoughts, patterns of behavior, motivations that you apply in your everyday life. When I pull this card, the intention is that this is going to be something that serves you over the next 3 weeks as you move through whatever the events are that will unfold for you. Everyday events unfold in our lives, right? But this particular archetype is going to be a source of power for you. It's going to be something that makes your 3 weeks go smoother. It's going to be the type of energy that is going to grow you the most and the fastest in these 3 weeks. So Spirit will deliver whatever it is that you need to have in mind. So you're going to want to write that down. I'm going to pull some higher wisdom cards from the Rebecca Campbell decks. All right, so we have the Starseed deck and the Lightworker deck. And then we're going to be pulling tarot to get more specific themes. We're going to pull some angel messages and maybe a prayer card as well. We'll see what comes up. In each reading, it might be a little bit different because I do this based on one circumstance at a time. So we'll see what comes up, but you're going to want to take notes because the really cool thing, and it's something that I do in my own tarot practice, is that I write down what comes up in a reading. And then over the next 3 weeks, you're going to look at what you wrote down. You're going to, even just if you start each morning off looking at what you wrote down, kind of have it fresh in your head so that as the day unfolds, you have these energies like ready to be used when necessary, right? Or when something shows up, when a situation arises, somebody says something to you, you kind of know, okay, this kind of goes with the themes this week. I'll embrace it, right? And you're going to operate from a higher perspective and a higher sense of self. And then when those 3 weeks are over, look back again at your notes and you'll really be able to actually pinpoint the situations and relationships that brought these moments in the cards to life in your everyday life. And it's really awesome to see how it shows up. It always shows up. So I think you'll have a lot of fun with that. So I invite you to take that opportunity to take notes as you listen to your reading. And I wish you a wonderful retrograde season with lots of growth, lots of good stuff. And it's nothing to be thinking of negatively, right? We hear Mercury retrograde and people tend to be like, oh my gosh, everything goes wonky. And in reality, that's not what retrograde is at all. It's really a time for us to go over some lessons that we need to go over because we're all learning all the time and none of us are getting it right all the time. And not only that, but as we evolve, we're going to revisit lessons that we've already been met with, challenges that we've already experienced, and we're going to now handle them from a higher version of ourselves, right? We're going to have more wisdom to apply. So Mercury retrograde is always kind of an opportunity to tie up loose ends, to revisit things that need your attention, and to apply the highest version of yourself to some old situations or old challenges that have come up for you in the past. So it's actually an awesome opportunity. So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching. Hi Cancer, thanks for watching. Let's see what Mercury retrograde has coming for you. We're going to start by pulling your archetype card. So we are going to see what energies are you going to be working with or working through in the next 3 weeks. And when we focus on these energies, this is what is going to be very empowering for you. Okay, so these are like the themes that are coming up for you that are going to need to be worked through. All right. So this might be something that is holding you back. This might be something that comes up in relationships. It might be coming up in terms of your own mindset. It might be habits of behavior that are no longer serving you. The whole point of this particular card is to see what that is for you. What needs to be changed up. All right. So okay, so we're getting God, all right? The archetype, the God archetype. This is not in reference to God in terms of the higher being. So a God archetype, the light attributes, the strengths of this, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. A shadow is despotism and cruelty using power to control people. Okay, so the God archetype is really, when used in the light, it is just a compassionate, loving, nurturing, amazing energy, right? A God archetype is an energy of seeing the beauty in all of the people in your life. It is truly being compassionate and forgiving and just an unconditional loving energy. It's a beautiful energy, okay? So that tells me that you have this to you, all right? And Cancers, you're a water sign, you're emotional. Like I, make fantastic families. So this isn't shocking. What you want to be aware of is using the idea of power the wrong way. Okay. So, not always believe, we can't always think we're right all the time, right? So a God archetype in the shadow would be somebody who makes all the decisions, believes that they're right all the time, like they know best. Okay. So it's really kind of an abuse of power. And trying to control what people do, what people think, that kind of thing. We always have to remember, we are only in charge of our own lives, okay? So if you're a parent, sometimes I think, that God archetype comes in with parents, because as parents, we are in charge of nurturing. We're in charge of raising children and teaching them and making all of their decisions and doing all of the caretaking. But then they reach that point in development where we have to let go a little bit, and we have to let them become their own individual person. So the God archetype in the negative would be bad when we can't let go and we can't release a little bit and we can't let them make their own decisions and find their own way. So it's really a balance of unconditional love, unconditional, forgiveness, and like true compassionate understanding, and nurturing, like a beautiful, beautiful, loving energy. So let's see what comes up in your soul wisdom cards. We're going to pull from, this is the Work Your Light deck, the Lightworkers deck by Rebecca Campbell. We'll see what higher wisdom comes through. So right now, if you're taking notes, you're going to be thinking about the fact that you really want to operate from a higher sense of love. And what does that mean to you, right? Like, it's not you being in charge and making all decisions. We don't want to operate from a place full of ego where we think like we're 100% right all the time, your way or the highway kind of thing. That's not really going to serve you or anybody else. That's damaging to relationships. Ooh, all the cards are flying out. So just be aware of, how are you navigating, I would say, your closest relationships, because I don't think anybody's acting like with the God archetype energy with strangers or with people that they're not close to. To me, this is like intimate, immediate family that we're thinking. All right. Okay. All right. So we're getting protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval is coming through. Okay. So if there's a relationship in your life that really has you stressed out and makes you feel, like so this can go either way. And because this is a general reading, I'm always giving scenarios because it depends on who's watching. But for this, if there is a person in your life who's actually doing the misuse here of this shadow side of the God archetype, if there is somebody who's incredibly controlling, somebody who is trying to call all the shots, make all the decisions, is very operating from a very much like a place of ego, this protection card is letting you know that, heaven and your guides sees that, and they're saying that you need to protect yourself, and you need to cut the cords. So if there's something that's unhealthy, if there's this unhealthy relationship in your life where you feel like bullied, you feel like somebody is just abusing their power over you or within a relationship with you, heaven sees it. You can see how all of those divine beings have their arms up and crossed in this idea of cutting the cord, okay? And you see that eclipse happening in the background. There needs to be an energy shift, okay? So a soul retrieval is calling back our power. It's the idea of consciously choosing to pull your power back to not allow your soul's energy to be drained by somebody else. So what I'm getting so far is that you have somebody in your life that is really just abusing their power over you. Maybe they intimidate you. Maybe they say words to you like that you're not smart enough to make your own decisions, or that you're not good enough in some way, or that you have to perform in order to be loved and worthy, okay? Whatever this God complex is, whoever this is for you, Spirit is saying you need to cut the cord, okay? So we'll probably maybe pull some Archangel Michael cards on this one, because whenever we know we have to cut a cord, that means there's an unhealthy energy that's existing between two people. And this doesn't mean that we have to end a relationship, but it means that there's some type of toxic energy that's existing. So if you think of your solar plexus and the other person's solar plexus, imagine that there's this rope of energy between the two of you. And a healthy, beautiful rope is golden and it's sparkly and it's a healthy energy. But something that is toxic is murky and gross. And like you could picture, when I think of a toxic cord, I think of a rope like on a boat that's covered, that's been in the water for a really long time and just like covered with algae and has just got like seaweed hanging off of it. That's like a toxic energy cord in my brain. And that's what I think is coming through here, that you have somebody in your life where there's some type of a toxic situation happening. So if we're going to cut cords with somebody that we're not going to eliminate from our life, then the cord cutting is really to shift the energy between you. And that's what that soul retrieval means. All right. We're going to pull now from the Starseed deck and we'll see what else comes up. We'll get some more insight on this. But just know that if there's somebody that's psychically attacking you, if there's somebody in your life that really just talks down to you, infuses you with self-doubt, makes you question yourself, makes you feel like you're not good enough or like you have to earn approval, or tries to control your decisions, doesn't validate what your heart calls you to do, doesn't, trust your choices, you need to shift the energy, because that is not right. You don't deserve that. Nobody does. And this isn't your fault. That you aren't doing anything wrong. When somebody is operating with that type of an energy, that's their energy, okay? That's coming from someplace within them. It's not your fault at all, okay? We're all responsible for our own energy, and it doesn't make this person a bad person necessarily. It doesn't make them, they might love you very much, right? But for whatever reason, this is a control issue, okay? So maybe this person feels more valuable and more worthy when they have that sense of control. That's their weakness. That's their issue that they have to work on. It is not you, and it's just something that needs to be brought to their attention, and it's just unacceptable treatment, right? It's an unhealthy dynamic in a relationship. Okay, so called, soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. You are being called for something, okay? And you can see that this girl in the red at the bottom of the card is walking towards this massive doorway into space, right? Into the universe. This is something new is happening for you, okay? So I think something new is on the horizon. So I don't know what that means, but Spirit is saying, like, get ready. You're like next on deck for something new, okay? And when we're called for something, that's something spiritual. That's something that's important for our karmic journey. It's something that our soul agreed to, okay? So another thing to make note of, because you're getting, whoever this person is in your life, because you're being called, this is a karmic relationship, okay? So this person isn't just a negative, potentially negative or stressful relationship in your life that maybe you think, oh God, I just want to get rid of them, or I wish that this didn't exist. The thing is, this has to exist because it's teaching you how to protect yourself. This energy that this person is throwing at you, no matter who it is really teaching you how to monitor your own energy, okay? How to step into your power, how to establish healthy energetic boundaries with what you'll allow into your psyche, with the thoughts, the beliefs, and the ways of being that you're going to tolerate in relationships. And then this is forcing you to really dig deep into who you are and decide, well, who am I? No matter what is said to me, no matter what somebody tries to make me believe about myself, I establish that, right? So this is really forcing you to step into your power. So to me, this is a karmic relationship, because then you're getting the called card, right? So you're about to step forward into a new dimension of yourself. So this new opportunity or this new thing, this might show up as an opportunity. This might show up as something in your life that's like an invitation to try something new, or an opportunity to work with new people. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe this is a relationship that's going to wind up ending because it is very unhealthy and you're being called forward into something more healthy. But what I think it is at its root is most certainly that you're being called forward on an energetic upgrade, okay? You're shifting up because this person did what they came to do. The contract that you had with this person was for them to push your buttons and force you to shift yourself, okay? And remember, with this card, we have that eclipse happening. That is a changeover of energy. That is when the slate gets wiped clean, all right? An eclipse comes in, shifts the energy completely. It's like, you know, pressing the reset button. So I think that whoever this relationship has been for you in your life, don't hate on them, because in truth, at a soul level, they're probably your bestie, okay? Because what happens is our hardest relationships, the relationships that trigger us the most and put us in the most uncomfortable situations, are really the souls that signed up to help us grow in the ways that we wanted to grow in this lifetime. So somebody with a God complex that really just, you know, forces you to confront your own belief system, forces you to use your voice, forces you to stand up and advocate for yourself, forces you to set boundaries, that's a beautiful gift to you. And it might be wrapped up in an unpleasant situation, but it's still a gift. So, you know, bless this person with gratitude, because they have created a situation for your soul to upgrade, for you to become much, much stronger, and for you to really step into your power. So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Not always pleasant, right? You know, most soul gifts are really hard and unpleasant. So it's just the way it goes here on Earth. But your angels are watching and they're communicating. You have to just protect yourself, right? So you're going to cut the energy cords. You are going to eliminate this toxic, you know, version of this relationship, okay? It will evolve into something different. All right, so we're getting the High Priestess, and we're getting the Magician. Wow, Cancer, you guys are, you're getting some big cards right here, okay? All right, 10 of Cups reversed, Page of Coins reversed, the Fool, holy moly, okay, and the Tower reversed. All right, so first of all, you are, this card right here that had come through, that you are being called. You are being called forth. Here's the deal. You have the High Priestess card coming through. And by the way, she is very much a Cancer card, right? She's that water, emotional, beautiful, intuitive energy. The High Priestess is just such a beautiful card of strength. Just look, you just look closely at this card. She sits in blue on the throne. She is the ultimate connection to divine feminine wisdom. You can see the triple goddess moon above her head, which is represents the stages of spiritual growth from the maiden to the mother to the crone. It's that divine transition as we age through wisdom, learning. We have this scroll on her lap with this light coming through. That's divine wisdom, okay? You are being called to operate with this. You are being called to step into your power on a soul level, which means if you have to have conversations that are hard, you need to tap into that intuition, that divine strength that you have inside your heart to allow those words to come through, right? She's all in blue, like the throat chakra and the third eye. She's all of that speaking and that communicating and that creating from a space of just true divine wisdom, all right? So if your gut is speaking to you, you are right. You can trust yourself. You can trust the words that you want to say. You can trust the decisions that you want to make. This is about trusting yourself and understanding that you're absolutely being guided, okay? Now you have the Magician card coming up. You have so many big cards here because you have, I mean, let me just put these in order for you, okay? You have the first three cards of the major arcana coming up in the tarot, okay? So we have the Fool, which is the beginning of a journey. All right, the Fool is starting off down a new path, starting something new. This is a beautiful new beginning. Then you have the Magician. Okay, the Magician works with spirit to create and manifest, okay? And notice just in this Magician's card, the way between his hands, we see those ancient symbols. We see the library behind him. We see all of those like scientific tools in front of him. He is a blend of science and spirit. He's a blend of human and divine, okay? He is an alchemist. He is taking what he has here in his reality and he is transforming it into something divinely just priceless, okay? This is priceless wisdom that he's creating. He's creating his life. He is creating his own opportunities. The Magician is a manifester and an alchemist, okay? So you have this new journey, and let's just go back to this. You have this new journey, new beginning of you creating something for yourself, right? You're heading down this path where you have a lot of control over what goes on, all right? And then you have that new doorway, right? You are being called to something new. And very truthfully, because of the cards that are coming up in the tarot, I think you're definitely being called spiritually to tap into your own truths, okay? I don't know where you're at on your spiritual journey or your path to awakening, but you are definitely being spoken to by spirit here of trust yourself and trust in spirit. You're not doing anything alone. You're not walking alone. The fool's journey is never solo. You have all your guides around you. Trust the inner wisdom that you're getting, okay? So trust your intuitive messages that come through, whether it is about making decisions, making choices, going somewhere, doing something, saying something to somebody. This high priestess energy is not going to steer you wrong. These are powerhouse energies, okay? So whatever is ahead, whatever you're being called for, trust in it because it's so much in your highest good. It's going to be so good for you, okay? We have, this 10 of Cups coming up, but it's coming up in the reverse position. The 10 of Cups does represent like a really happy relationship and just feeling really satisfied and content with where you're at. But when we come up in a reverse position, it's indicating to me that there is a discord here. There's something going on here that is very unhappy. So here, that God energy, if this is your partner or your spouse or somebody very close to you in your immediate family, Spirit is validating that there is a problem, okay? Your intuition is speaking to you and Spirit sees that you want something to change and it should change because it's not healthy. There's something going on with that energy. All right, we have the Page of Coins reversed. So we have this new beginning that's kind of on hold with this with this person, I think, okay? So the Page of Coins normally really kind of represents like a new idea, a transformation, another new beginning card. But with this, it's coming up reversed. So I feel like because it's coming up reversed, there's an indication of something feeling really stuck for you. I don't even think it's you. I think it's this other person. I don't think the person in your family that you're dealing with, this relationship, is really willing to see things from a new perspective and to try things in a new way. I think that they're hesitant on that. We also have the Tower card coming up at the end. Okay, the Tower is an ending, an unexpected ending, but it is coming up in reverse, okay? So what I think, and I'll show you how these cards came up together. The Tower card is surrounding, and the reverse Page of Coins is surrounding the Fool. All right, so you might have, I think there's going to be a shift in this relationship, and I think it is going to start off in a better, healthier direction, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time and effort on your part for that person to come around. So, when you're protecting yourself, when you're cutting that cord and you are establishing those healthy boundaries, if this is the first time you're doing that with this person, they're probably going to be rocked, right? If you're drawing the line in the sand and saying, hey, if we're in this relationship, if we're married, if we're, whatever this relationship dynamic is, I want your unconditional love, right? I want the light side of the God archetype. I want love. I want forgiveness. I want nurturing and compassion. I want you to respect me for who I am. That might be something that they need to process and like really take time to reflect on, which is why I think this page is coming up reversed. That it's not going to be an immediate change necessarily, but it is going to be you're starting a new journey towards that, okay? I think there is going to be a positive shift at some point. And this Tower card coming up reversed is, I don't think that there's going to be an ending necessarily. I think it's going to be a shift, all right? So I'm not getting the vibe that the relationship would have to end. I think the energy has to be changed up, all right? So we're going to pull some more tarot on this and see what comes up. So if you're writing stuff down, we are going to write down that you are absolutely being called for something new. There's going to be a shift inside yourself. And this has been the theme, truthfully, different cards, different specifics. But so far for every sign, this Mercury retrograde is really putting people in the position to tap inside internally to that heart chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus, confidence area of really tapping into your own personal power, taking your power back from somebody who has drained it from you with their words, with their actions, with their level of selfishness, okay? Because you're being called to upgrade. You're being called to use your soul. And this is your personality. It's your talents. It's your skills. It's who you are. When I talk about your soul, I'm talking about who you are, your essence of who you are on this earth. You are most definitely being urged to tap into your intuition and trust. Meditate, journal, go to anything that's going to elevate your connection to your angels, to your higher self. If you're religious, pray. If you are, I pray all the time and I don't qualify myself as religious, but prayer is the most powerful thing. So pray about this, because part of the magician's alchemy is spirit, okay? He's not doing anything by himself. The magician isn't the magician alone. The magician is a guy who is guided by spirit. So trust that you are not in whatever the situation is alone. In the next few weeks, if let's say something gets said to you, or, you're in moments with this person where you've just really had it, green light, go. Say what needs to be said about how you expect to be treated and how you want to be treated, and allow whatever comes from that conversation to just settle in, right? When we do energy work, when we shift a vibration in a relationship, it takes time for that energy to just kind of settle and acclimate itself to the people that are involved, okay? And then that's where that Fool comes in. That's where that new beginning comes in, okay? So just trust that that is going to happen. All right, so we are getting the Four of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. Now, all three of these came up reversed, in the reverse position. So I'll hold them up for you the way they came up. All right. So we'll start with this one, with the Four of Cups. This is somebody who is sitting in contemplation. This is somebody who you can see is kind of looks like he's meditating. The Four of Cups in the tarot usually represents the universe is giving you a choice, okay? And it's something to ponder. It's something to think about, like, what direction do you want to head in? Do you want to accept where you're at right now? Do you want to accept the mission that's been assigned to you? So the Four of Cups reversed is, to me, almost like an indication of I don't really want to accept where I'm at right now. I don't really want to see what you're offering because, I'm familiar with where I'm at. And this is something new coming in. This is a new way of thinking about myself. This is a new way of being in this relationship, because even if something upsets us or bothers us, sometimes familiarity is just what we want, even when it's not ideal. So I feel like there's a little bit of resistance coming through on that change. But this Seven of Swords energy, he is sneaky. Seven of Swords is not upfront about something. Like, Seven of Swords is trying to steal away in the middle of the night with everybody else's stuff, okay? Or just trying to get away with something. But then we have it in the reversed position. So I feel like that resistance and that trying to avoid something is coming to an end, okay? Because then we have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is really just, it's a card that represents, giving and having all that you need, and, your solutions showing up to your problems. It's really having all your answers and having all the things that you need, okay? So I feel like there might be part of that Seven of Swords energy, like there might be this feeling of I'm hesitant and I'm resistant to make any changes or to call somebody out on something because I don't know that I'll have all that I need. I don't know how it will affect my everyday life. These pentacles, this is the earth. So we have this resistant emotions and this Seven of Swords communication coming through with the swords in the air and the mental stuff, worrying about stuff. And then this Six of Pentacles, I'm not really sure that I'm going, if I do this, if I have this conversation, if I set these boundaries, if I make these changes in this relationship, am I going to have everything that I need? Are things going to change? Will I, what's going to happen? Okay, not really being sure about what's going to happen. Okay, so when we're not really sure of what's going to happen, we tend to hesitate to take action, right? We tend to think, that's where self-doubt creeps in. That's where a fear of change creeps in. But you are going to have to remember that you are being called to step up and step into your power. You being called to set, and establish healthy boundaries in this situation and to cut some toxic cords. I just want to see if I have my Archangel Michael cards over here. We're going to pull a card from his deck in this situation because you have been advised to cut some cords, and he is he's the archangel of cord cutting. Okay, so you can say a prayer to Archangel Michael, and he will help you with this. You can pray that he gives you assistance in this relationship, and that he helps clear the energy and helps you communicate and establish the healthy boundaries that you really deserve. Okay, but you don't have to fear something catastrophic happening. Okay, this Tower card in reverse is very much to me like it's not all going to end. Everything's not going to fall apart. Just step into your power and establish that more loving vibration in your relationship that you deserve. I think that the person that you are dealing with is going to be open to it. It's just going to take him a little bit of time because he's the Page of Coins, right? He or she is the Page of Coins, kind of like a new learner, somebody who's just starting out, and you're going to have to give them time to adjust, okay? So Archangel Michael says, you created this situation and you have the power to change it. Okay then, Archangel Michael. All right, and there is the card, and you can see that he is painting a picture. Actually, yeah, he's painting the picture. You got a unicorn in the background. The prayer says, thank you for letting me lean on your strength and for reminding me of my personal power. Please guide me to manifest and heal according to divine will, creating peace and blessings for everyone involved. I think that is definitely what's going to happen. Okay. I do believe that once you attend to this and have that conversation about what you deserve and how you want things to change and how you want to be treated, you are going to have peace. I think it is going to work out just fine. I think it is going to shift the energy. It's going to start that new beginning. Okay. You have that full energy coming through. And frankly, your intuition, you're going to have all the information given to you that you need. Okay. So you need to trust in the fact that Spirit is working with you. Archangel Michael will be working with you. To say what needs to be said. Shift the energy because it's going to lead to peace. It's going to lead to something better. And instead of getting any of that harsh control or that power struggle, you're going to wind up having more of that loving vibration in your relationship. So I wish you all the best, Cancer. Be open to this positive change. Pray to Archangel Michael for some cord cutting assistance to help shift the energy in this relationship, whatever and whoever this is for you in your life. I thank you so much for watching. If you like what I post on this page, please hit subscribe, and I wish you all the best. Take care.